How are you doing? I'm Martin from Gardens for Life, and this is our 24th questions and answers live session. For those of you on the audio only, I will make sure that if I am showing something into the camera, I'll describe it. So we'll just hang on in there for a few people to join the live chat. So we've got a lot of stuff going on at the moment, and we'll be talking about it today. So firstly, thank you guys for all joining last week. That was a great turnout. And today we're also going to be raffling off or just having a little giveaway of a €50 voucher as well. Anyone can enter free of charge. And if you are watching this after the live stream was, streamed, or if you're listening to the audio afterwards, if you want to get in on a chance to win a prize, please do join us every Thursday at 9 p.m. GMT. Hello, David. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us today. So I see people coming in here now. So if you have any questions at all about what we do, you've probably watched some of our videos. That's most likely how you found us here in the first place, or how you found Gardens for Life and Birdland Homestead. And if you have any questions, please type those into the live chat during the live, obviously, not afterwards. And just put the word question in all capital letters in the beginning. I can answer any questions at all to do with gardening, no-dig gardening, growing food or medicinal herbs. I can also answer questions about chicken keeping for egg production, or any kind of homesteading related projects, or even cutting wood. I can definitely talk about that, which is actually a season that's coming up for us now. So this month I'm actually keeping very busy trying to propagate as many plants as I can while the season allows it. In September it's probably a little too late. I'm not going to be starting plants from seed or from cuttings from September onwards, simply because it's just the plants may not get strong enough or grow big enough to make the first winter. So I have done it before and I lost probably half of the plants. So I'm not going to bother this time. I'm just going to start them off a little bit earlier. And I'm also starting all 16 varieties of mint that we've got now in separate crates. And I'm going to have those ready to go. It's going to make my life so much easier sending out all of the mint rhizomes to you guys. But I'm also going to keep another little project I've got. I'm going to put some of the nicest mints, like the iced tea or the chocolate mint, into containers, like a big pot, then put those in the greenhouse. And if any of you guys have seen our garden tour, we have a greenhouse there and a little area inside it to sit down. And we have a little camping cooker just to heat up the kettle. And it'll be handy to have some really nice tea to get people to try them while they're there. So let me check here. I've had a few questions been emailed to me as well during the week, and I'll throw those in there in between. Well, let me see here. Hello, how are you guys doing? Thanks for joining. Thank you, Chris, for joining again. I see here you're saying you bought some. So Ireland Day and Night says, hello, Martin. Bought some Jerusalem artichokes from you a few days ago. Can't wait to get them growing. Well, Jerusalem artichokes are a really rewarding crop, and it's probably the easiest vegetable you can grow. It's basically a tuberous sunflower, and to make it short, to keep it short, you can basically plant them anytime in the winter and harvest them anytime in the winter. Now, they're a very abundant vegetable, but just make sure you plant them somewhere where they're going to be permanently, because they are a true perennial. They'll just keep growing year after year. But the good news is you'll have them forever and you'll only have to buy them once. And we have 5 different varieties, actually. Let me just see here. We have a question from David here. Would you prefer we watch on Birdland page or Gardens for Life page? It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't really matter. Either is fine. It doesn't really make much of a difference on YouTube. But the questions come through anyway on both channels because we're using StreamYard as a broadcasting platform. StreamYard is the easiest one to use. So got a question from Chris here. Hello, Martin. Am I a bit late to take elder cuttings? No, you're not. In August, you can still take semi-hardwood cuttings. So all a semi-hardwood cutting is, it's this year's wood, so the green wood, after it goes hard. So there's a 6-week period after midsummer, so the summer solstice, where the wood actually basically hardens, where the plant takes in CO2 or actual carbon dioxide through the bark, actually, through the membranes. And the cuttings can be taken. I just wouldn't leave too much leaf on them because it'll dry out much easier than softwood. And softwood has a much thicker cambium layer, but it's definitely not too late. I took some cuttings of elderberries today. I got the Hashberg elder, the Birdland elder, the black lace elder, the American elder, which I still need to do some cuttings of, which is a great reminder, actually, and a couple of other varieties of elder, like just ornamental ones, sort of. And we found that the American elder is coming into production now for flowers, so we can start using those, and we might actually host a few winemaking workshops as well. If anyone's interested in a winemaking workshop, we can use American elder. And please go to our events page if you want to book a workshop or send us an email. Just take a look at the events page first, though. It's just gardenforlife.ie/events for those of you on the audio. So let me see here. So I just want to show you guys something. Hold on a second. I'm just going to put my screen into it, or my browser. And there's actually an All-Ireland Permaculture Gathering happening this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. And we're going to go for just a Saturday because we have another workshop actually going on here at our garden in Roscommon on Sunday. So we're not going to go for the whole weekend, but please do feel free to take a look at their website. It's just a voluntary organization, and it's just to basically an event to do networking and to make new friends and connections and contacts. You might be able to help each other with workshops or even work parties, also formerly known as mehels back in the day, where families used to help each other harvest, take in the harvest, basically. So it's great to have some contacts in your area, especially other gardeners or other like-minded people that are, at least that people that are trying to kind of live the same sort of lifestyle. I guess more of a producer lifestyle rather than a consumer lifestyle. And definitely producing what you grow or producing what you eat will definitely help to lower your environmental footprint much more than anything else. I don't think there's anything else you can do that's better for the environment than grow your own food, because you're also contributing to the local ecosystem. But permaculture is something it's worth looking into. If you haven't heard of permaculture, all it means is permanent agriculture, and all it means is that you're integrating nature into your farm or into your garden or into your lifestyle as well. So there is a lot to it, and there's some really good lectures on YouTube, and you can look them up as well. Bill Mollison permaculture, just classes or lectures, you can type it in. They're free of charge and they're very entertaining. And we've always found that permaculture has a lot of good information in it, and it helps you connect with nature a little bit more to make your garden more productive, and with that, make your kitchen more productive. And with that, you having to spend less money, saving money. Actually, every euro saved is, no, sorry, isn't it? €1 that you didn't need to spend is €2 that you didn't need to earn. So it's definitely worthwhile. I have to always look around here to see. So I've also got, let me know if you have any questions, and we're going to come back to the comments in a minute. So I've also want to show another little YouTube channel to you. So it's actually, the YouTube channel name is Anna Palotto, or Anna Palotto, sorry, Anna Palotta. And so Michael Pilarski is the name of the man. You can see him here. And he is a man that grows herbs, medicinal herbs, commercially. He grows them, and he also grows forest gardens. And I believe he's in Washington State in the US. And it's very interesting. A lot of the plants that he grows there in his perennial gardens are can be grown here in Ireland or in the UK as well. So Michael Pilarski is well worth looking up. And there's just a wealth of information here. I'm going to actually go through all of the videos. I've watched nearly all of them, but I'm going to watch all of them again because he talks about all the different plants. You can see here, there's motherwort, there's echinacea, there's meadowsweet, marshmallow. There's a lot of different plants he's talking about. So anyone here on the live chat, have you ever heard of Michael Pilarski? Put your hand up. Let me know, please. Let me just check here. No, sorry about the screen. I'm just checking the comments back again. Mark Shepard is another great name. There he is, the man with the white beard on the left. That's Justin Rhodes on the right, actually. You probably have heard of Justin Rhodes. He's a bit of a homesteader's celebrity. And he does great content as well, so it's worth looking up Justin Rhodes. But Mark Shepard is somebody that we had got quite a lot of inspiration from, but he is bigger scale. He's not home scale or market garden scale, like 2 acres or even 5 acres or less. He is farm scale, and that's over 100 acres. And what he did is phenomenal. It's worth looking up his channel or his videos even. And he also wrote a great book some years ago, Restoration Agriculture, well worth getting, especially for those of you among you that have more land and that are farmers as well. Basically, it's just rows of trees. It's savanna-style gardening on a bigger scale. And while the rows of trees, especially nut trees and fruit trees, are growing bigger, you're still harvesting the grass in between the rows. Using livestock. So, and then later on, as the fruit trees and nut trees mature, he sends in other animals, for example, pigs, to harvest all of that fruit and nut and improve the quality of the meat and create a very unique product. And it's definitely a premium level product that we're talking about. And definitely there's his farm. You can see it there. It's basically all on contour swales, and they're all planted up. And it's a beautiful place, well worth looking up. Now, let me check here. So, you have another question here. Chris is asking, does the American elder produce flowers and berries all at the same time compared to the European elder? Yeah, so the European elder, for those of you most of you will know the European elder, even if you're not from Europe or living in Europe. The European elder basically flowers for a brief window of 2 weeks. And usually that goes a bit like, I look over, oh, Jesus, is that time of the year already. And I look away for like just a minute. Oh, Jesus, I missed my chance. So it's only a 2 weeks of the year you can harvest the European elderflowers. But luckily, the American elder produces elderflowers from midsummer until the end of October. And it also produces a few berries, but not very many. I found them to be much less productive than the European elder for berries. That's why Michael Pilarski in Washington State in the US, he grows the American elder for the flowers and he grows the European elder for the berries. So it's well worth checking. Chris, there's 2 varieties of a European elder that are extremely productive. Number 1 is, of course, the main commercial variety of elder in Europe, and it's called Hashberg. And also our own variety, Birdland elder. So you can get them on our website. There's cuttings available, and we're out of plants now. So it's only cuttings. And they'll grow. Once you get them grown, you can just cut back your trees and then take the cuttings and stick them in the ground, and you'll get loads of trees then. So elder is going to be a great hedging plant as well. Very fast growing, same as the hybrid poplar and the hybrid willow as well. So we found the elder is super fast growing and much denser than most of the other deciduous trees anyway. So please let me know if you have any other questions at all. We'll do our draw shortly in a while, just when people are joining. We'll just show you real quick. If you're interested in coming to one of our walks, here it's a free guided tour of our gardens. If you haven't heard, we do them now once or twice a month, and it's basically an hour and a half walk around the garden, and basically I'm just going to show you everything in person. If you've seen any of the videos, if you're too far away from us here in Ireland or even in Roscommon, we are also doing video tours as well, so virtual tours. They're available for free, of course, on our website and on our YouTube channel and Odyssey and Rumble. Although our Rumble channel is not automatically synchronizing, which is a bit of a problem. So we might yet get that fixed, although it looks like it's not going to be automated. We are doing those tours free of charge, and at the end we just have a cup of tea or a bit of coffee. And if you'd like to book for a tour, you have to book your space because spaces are limited. We can't host too many people because of parking constraints. That's our main limitation at the garden. And they are available on our events page. So it's just gardensforlife.ie/events. And let me just show you here. I'm just going to put you on the screen. For those of you on the audio only, this is our website. I'm just showing the website itself. You click here, and you can scroll down here, and you've got upcoming events right here. Let me just middle click on that. And I'll just show you here how to get to our... so on the top of the events page, there's a link for the free guided tours. You click on that link, and there you are. So the next date available is actually the 4th, Wednesday the 4th of September at 6 p.m. So we went for a weekday this time because we've got so much else going on among the permaculture gathering. Then we've got a home education network of Ireland gathering as well. And we've got Bianca, my wife, actually publishing her album as well in a couple of weeks. So for any of you guys that are around Roscommon, if you know Bianca, you can take a look at her website actually and come to the opening and come to the album release. You're very welcome to. And we have a little music studio actually here on site. It's Birdland Music Studio. And let me just give you a link real quick. So it's just biancafashel.com. So if any of you guys are living near Roscommon, yeah, you're welcome to join us at Bianca's album release. So one thing I wanted to just show you is the free tours, and also the winter selection is available. This is us now. So you see here on the left-hand side, that's our chat. That's the one we're in now. And we've got a full tour of the gardens. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm showing the winter selection 2024 in a rather long video. I think it's 42 minutes or so. And I'm just kind of giving you an introduction into what you can grow next year. And that's why we're announcing the pre-sale very early in the year, simply because usually 3 months before things are harvested. So it's November actually when they'll be harvested. November is not that far away anymore. I think, what is it, September, October? Yeah, so 2.5 months. So we're nearly only 2 months away from the beginning of November, but we'll be harvesting all of the tubers and all of the cuttings as they mature, or as they go to sleep for the winter, as they lose the leaves, especially the willows. So just to show you real quick, I don't want to make this into a thing where I show you everything, but we do have the cuttings are available again. So you have hybrid willow, hybrid poplar, They're for firewood, for shelter belts, windbreaking, privacy, fences, hedging. They're good for a lot of things, especially the willows are great for ruminants as well, or other livestock that eats greens. They love to eat the leaves. And we've got some of these tubers vegetables like oca, and got tuber mixes as well. Marshmallow. We've got lots of different plants now as well. And marsh woundwort is a lovely plant, and it grows a bit like mint actually. And sweet woodruff is a new one that we've got. We've got other varieties of mint and willows, rhubarb. We've got tons of different stuff. Please do take a look. I'll just put the link into the chat here. I don't want to turn this into advertising now for the shop, but the winter selection was just announced there a week ago, so I thought I'd let you know about it. Sorry to hold you for that long now. So let me check here. I have a question here. Could you please give tips for growing bigger potatoes? Well, I'm no expert on growing vegetables, believe it or not, even though we grow a lot of perennial vegetables. Market gardeners would know better, like Charles, not Charles Dowding though, Charles Carr from the Bull on Ark. So he definitely talks about the potatoes. I would suggest you take a look at the newest video. I'll get it for you here. The link, I'll get you the link. It's the Bull on Ark. So what I would do is to grow potatoes, you better be putting down, you need to put down lots and lots of compost and basically a no-dig garden bed, and then mulch them. So let me just show you here. I'm going to get you the video, the newest one for the Bull on Ark. And in that video, he talks about potatoes and how he grows them and how he mulches them. And there's also another video for no-dig potatoes that I actually released. And I would suggest just basically chitting them, like letting them sprout fairly early on, but then planting them out. Not sure exactly at what time to plant them out. Like they say Paddy's Day. I don't even know exactly when that is. I believe it's like the 17th, around the 17th of March. But sometimes they can get knocked down by the frost as well. They can get knocked back. Karen's, 1 second now. I do know that the potatoes we grew were very easy to harvest, and they were also very easy to grow. I didn't have to do anything with them. I didn't heal them, as in I didn't pour more compost on top of them. There is a video in the video link in the chat for our no-dig potato video that I made actually 2 or 3 years ago now. And geez, even looking at the video, or even the thumbnail, the background, in the background, there's no no-dig garden yet. So now I've had a question about, hang on. I've had a question here about herbs. I got emailed during the week. So first of all, let me just pour some of this iced tea. Do you see this? This is like a 2-liter glass jug, especially for tea. This is iced tea. Is a variety of mint, and I can smell it from here. Oh, it smells so good. And we're actually gonna I'm just gonna drink a little bit of it because I want to put let this cool down until tomorrow, and then add ice cubes to it. And then we're gonna try and see if we can make our own iced tea. We don't have to buy the Lipton stuff anymore, even though we love it. There's a bit too much sugar in it though. At least there's no aspartame or other kind of chemical sweeteners in it. But I just added 3 teaspoons of sugar to 2 liters, so it's very little in comparison. Let me try it now. Still a bit warm. That's very good. Probably want to add a bit of lemon juice though to make it just like the real thing, like the actual iced tea. Not sure how they do the peach one. Oh, that's very good. what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you some of these herbs here. So I sort of, I started doing comfrey, drying comfrey leaves for later use for making infused oils, so we can make salves and other cosmetic items such as balms as well. They last a lot longer than the salves. And I also started drying a lot of the feverfew as well. So this is actually some feverfew from last year, if you can see that properly. It's a good bit of smell off it. So feverfew is good for a lot of things. So we do dry these in our dryers. If you haven't watched the video on drying plants, I also have a video about harvesting and drying feverfew, and it's the same principle for all of the different flowers, especially the wildflowers. And you can do the same thing with chamomile as well. So this is actually German chamomile. Smells really good. And you never know when you might need it during the winter. So the summer is the time to stash away all your herbs. You can still do it now, but you do need a dryer. So if you're looking for a dryer, you can go to our products page actually, because I always get asked from the video. In the videos, we often show the dryers, and they're not electrical dryers. They're just basically the kind of ones with multi-level, like 6 levels, like a basket, where the net that keeps the insects out, and we hang them up in the greenhouse, which is the perfect place for it actually. So there's a link in the chat for our recommended books and products page. I think it's the first item. The dryer should be available there. And it's the reason why I'm giving you a link is because it's very specific. There's a lot of those dryers that just they tear, like the material actually tears apart, and then it's no good to you because the insects can get in. You don't want any insects in your herb, that's for sure. But you do want to dry your herbs slowly over a long period of time. Let's say at least 7 days, but 7 to 14 days is ideal, I guess. If you put them into an electrical dryer, you can dry them in 24 hours. But the trouble is, it's a little bit too fast, and you're evaporating a lot of the I think it's volatile oils that contain the active constituents in your herb, and the oil can evaporate along with the water. So it's a little bit too fast. Same as drying food. Freeze drying would be better. I'm not sure if you can do that with flowers. I'm sure you could. So here we have some elder flowers as well, and they're handy to have in the winter time. Of course, you can make tea, and you can also make good smell. You can also use the elderflower to make your tinctures and teas, and even wine. Actually, I use it as a wine ingredient for country wines. It's really good like that. Best time of year is to dry them in the summer. But if you have American elder, they are just as medicinal as well. They have all the benefits of the European elder when it comes to the flower anyway. And you don't have to preserve the American elder because you have a much longer harvest window. So you have like several months of a harvest window. Let me see here. What else have I got? Got 2 more. This is the hawthorn. We dried these last year. Hawthorn is a very good herb to strengthen the heart. Again, I'm not a herbalist or not a doctor, so do your own research. I recommend some of the books actually that in the link of the products page that I actually just put out. There is a great encyclopedia of medicinal herbs made by DK or written by DK. Take a look, and it's well worth it. It's only like €20, and it's off Amazon. And yes, we do still buy books, actual physical books, because why not? Books are nice, and they're not much more expensive than the ebook. And at least I've got it then. I might lose the ebook, you never know. So hawthorn is a good one to have, just in case you need it. Elderflower, feverfew, chamomile. There's also Greek chamomile and German chamomile. Peppermint works also. I'm not sure about the roots, but I know the leaves do, but you can dry them for later use. This here is one of the teas that we got from our supplier in Greece. They are on eBay. Let me see here. So youherbit.com actually. And this is the Great Mullen flowers. Look at the little flower there. You can see the flower there. So these are actually dried. So they're actually much smaller once they're dried, and they also crush down very easily. The reason why I bought it is because I just didn't have a dryer yet last year, and this year I missed the Great Mullen flowers, and I'm going to use this instead. So when you're drying your flowers or your leaves, any of the herbs, you are removing all of the water content, and that stops the mold from occurring, especially if you're making balms and creams. You want to make sure that you use dry herbs, and they'll last much longer because you're adding it to oil, and oil can, of course, if there's any moisture in it at all, it can go moldy. So you don't want that to happen. And tinctures, not so many issues with mold, of course, because it's alcohol based rather than water and oil. So Great Mullen is actually a great herb to grow in the garden too. It looks nice. It's very ornamental. It's great for the insects. It flowers for 3 months of the year, and it also provides 100,000 seeds per plant. So you can always collect the seeds and bring them to your local seed swap, and that's always nice. Or share them with your local gardening club or your friends that might get into gardening. But once you've got the Great Mullen, you'll always be able to grow more of it anyway. You'll always be able to collect the seeds from it. Do you guys have any questions here? I see lots of you on here now. We'll do the draw in a minute for those of you waiting for it. I don't want to keep you until the very end now. That's not the purpose of the show, to lure you in with a €50 prize or a voucher for our online shop and then keep you until the end. I'm going to do it now in a few minutes. But hello, Mike, how are you doing? Thanks for joining again. So let me just take a look. Do you guys have any questions with regards to medicinal herbs or even drying flowers? So the only reason why it's worth drying any flowers or even berries, actually, for that matter, well, a berry is mostly easier freezing anyway, unless you have a dehydrator, and that uses heat, so you're evaporating a lot of the goodness from your fruit or from your flowers for that matter. As I said, when you're drying flowers or leaves and you're drying them too quickly, even if you hang them up in a little bundle, you hang up your mint or whatever it is over a stove or radiator in your house, it's a little bit too much heat. The problem is it evaporates the oils as well as the water, and it dries it too quickly. You're better off drying it slowly, and it'll just be more potent in the end if it's a medicinal herb. Hello, Elizabeth, how are you doing? So one of the things that I always recommend is if you're drying berries, you can't really use one of the dryers. And so a dryer, all it is a multi-level, kind of like a basket, like a net that holds flowers or leaves. And you can't really dry berries in them because they'll go rotten before they dry. You can dry berries using a dehydrator, but that's electrical. And unless you have a ton of solar on your house or even batteries, you can't really do it economically unless you really like the quality of your berries compared to what you get in the shop. Because I can guarantee you one thing, by the time you grow your berries, you collect them, even just collecting the berries in the garden, how much is your time worth per hour? Of course, it's worth collecting them and eating them much quicker, like they're much fresher than the ones you get in the shop. And of course, not hydroponically grown, because a lot of the berries we found, like even raspberries, they're hardly real. I mean, strawberries are all grown in hydroponics. That means in some kind of an artificial medium like coconut husks, like in Wexford. And they're even making videos about it to show that's what they're doing, and that they're using liquid fertilizers. So you need soil to grow proper food. So the soil life does not replace, you can't replace the soil life with water-soluble chemicals, even if they're organic. So grow your fruits in compost or soil. We have a question here from Mike. Is there any benefit to vacuum packing dried herbs instead of keeping them in jars? Yes, I'm actually going to do that. So, Mike, I'm actually going to start growing a lot more medicinal herbs, and I'm going to start selling them. And probably not yet, not this year. I'm just getting used to doing it, and I'm actually just starting some more plants, actually. And I think keeping them in a jar, keeping them in a jar is good if you're going to keep opening the jar and taking some out. But if it's a big quantity and if you're not going to use them all, if you're, for example, like this, all this German chamomile here, I'm not going to be able to use that even in a year. Like that's a year worth for our family, because we'll only drink it when we need it, right? And same as feverfew or American or elderflowers or even hawthorn. Hawthorn is more of a tonic herb, though. You know, you can take it every day and it'll only help. Like it's only going to be good for you. But it depends. What I would do is I'd vacuum seal it. I vacuum seal any herbs, including leaves and flowers. If you have a vacuum sealer, it's well worth putting the herbs into smaller bags in case you're going to open one. Once you open a big bag, you kind of want to take some out and then seal it again, just to keep the main bulk of your year's quantity of any particular herb vacuum sealed, and then just take out some of it for the next few weeks or the next couple of months. If you know what I mean, like have like a smaller packet or even a jar that you're taking from to make a tea or whatever every once in a while or every couple of days, and have either another jar you could even put in an oxygen absorber into the jar and put it away. Or just basically what I'm going to try is I'm going to vacuum seal some of the herbs, and I'm going to add I'm going to add an oxygen absorber, and that should keep the herbs good for years. But it's not really necessary because we can always collect fresh herbs next year. So we're only looking to store herbs for the winter, really. For 6 to 12 months is probably about the maximum. Some of the herbs, I mean, these are from last year as well. They definitely lose some of their potency. I can smell there's not as much smell off this feverfew here. And I'm not sure how good it's going to be. But I know from valerian root, for example, I bought some on eBay somewhere. And the valerian root was still really good after 3 years. So, and it doesn't really make much of a difference, but keep the oxygen off your food or off anything actually that you're going to be consuming. Because if you're consuming it, it must be a consumable. And if it is consumable, then bacteria in the air will also be interested. And if the bacteria or the molds are never ever going to eat your food or your medicine for that matter, especially food, then it's not food. If you know what I mean. For example, sugar. I think you could probably vacuum seal a bag of sugar and leave it there for 5,000 years, and I bet you it'll still be good. Same as honey. I think sugar, nothing wants to eat sugar because it's just not food. Of course, I consume plenty of it. Unfortunately, I do need to get away from the old carbs, don't we all? Let me see here. But you know, the old carbs help if you're working away, you're making progress. Let me see here. So I have one more question until we do our giveaway. Hi, Martin. What do you think are the best scented herbs for drying, other than the obvious ones? Well, that depends on what kind of scent you're looking for. Are you looking for scent from dried flowers? I don't really know. Fresh flowers, definitely valerian, that's for sure. But again, we're not drying flowers for the purpose of making perfume. But we'd like to learn more about that. But at the moment, we're busy just learning more about medicinal herbs. And I have a whole list here, actually. Hang on a second. Michael Pilarski's. I've actually got a whole list of Michael Pilarski's new plants that he's grown, that he's offering for sale on his website. And I'm going to be looking into some of them and looking them up on Plants for a Future. So pfaf.org. pfaf.org is the name of the website, faf.org. And it's very good. You can type in any common name or Latin name, and you'll find the herb and whether it's useful and what it's useful for. So definitely for looking up any plant, it's a great resource. Rose petals probably could be really nice, especially from wild roses. They actually smell much stronger, I found, than any of the cultivated varieties. And rose petals are actually edible, apparently, but also they're great for scent. I presume to extract the scent from them, you have to dry them first, but I'm not sure. I don't know anything about perfume making, but maybe we'll learn about that one of these days when we get a chance and when we get ahead of us enough, ahead of ourselves. Actually, no, it's not the right way to say it. When we make good progress. Let me see. There's one more question here, a quick one. Marie's asking, what are the best plants to plant in autumn? So I'm not planting a whole lot other than winter vegetables. For example, kale. If you just have a bit of room in the garden and you want to throw in a few more seeds, this month is the month to do it. In August, you want to start your seeds in a tray, in seed starting compost. Keep them moist and keep them warm, either on a windowsill in the house. If you haven't got much space, you can also do it in the greenhouse. It's so cold here in Ireland now at this stage already that I'm not sure whether these seeds are all going to germinate. So even out in the greenhouse. So some of them you might have to start them off on the windowsill at this stage because of the all cold summer that we're having here, a few days anyway. And you can probably start any of the winter vegetables and any of the spring vegetables. So for example, we start kale as well. So Nero, any of the perennial kales as well, the Taunton Dean, the Daubenton, the red Russian kale will grow through the winter at 4 degrees Celsius or more. And you have the any of the sprouting broccolis. You'd want to plant them in now anyway. If it's not too late yet, I don't think. But again, I'm no expert on growing vegetables, as mad as that might seem to some of you, even though we've been putting out a video every week for 7 years on gardening. And we're growing all sorts of different things like fruits and vegetables and medicinal herbs. But yeah, you're probably better off to check with some of the market gardeners like Charles Dowding or Charles Carr from the Bull on Ark in Loughrea. Look up the Bull on Ark. There's actually a video in the chat that I posted earlier. There's a link to a video tour of the Bull on Ark, and that'll give you an idea. Probably you'll figure out some new vegetables to grow from that video for sure. It's very inspirational anyway. So if you want to enter the free draw for €50 voucher for our online shop, here's the online shop, gardensforlife.ie/shop. Please enter the word enter in all capital letters. So just put in the word enter on the chat if you want to enter the free draw for a €50 voucher, and you can win a voucher for our online shop. And I'll just post a link to the shop here on the chat. We have just announced our winter selection there last week, and a lot of people are already buying the oca, the mashua, the yacon, and the Jerusalem artichoke, so all those tuberous vegetables, and the willow cuttings as well, and the poplar, hybrid poplar, and there's a ton of different berries as well. All the different currants, black currant, white currant, red currant, josta berry, you have gooseberry, you have goji berry, even though I wouldn't call it a berry because it's not growing, it doesn't grow fruit here, not in our polytunnel anyway. So please do enter the free draw. Type the word enter in all capital letters into the chat, please. And you're in for a chance. It's free of charge to enter the draw. And we'll get our random comment picker to pick a name, and we'll see if we can. Just check here now. Give me a second. We've got. We also got the onions as well. We've got Egyptian walking onions. That's a perennial, so that'll just keep growing year after year. The orphrey is a perennial bulbous leek. We have elephant garlic. There's loads of other plants like feverfew, valerian, marshmallow, rhubarb. Lots of different bits and pieces there available on our online shop. Please do take a look, and hopefully you'll win a voucher. So don't place your order just yet if you were going to place one. So let me just check here. Last chance to enter the free draw. Type the word enter in all capital letters if you haven't done so yet in the chat. And we're going to turn on our random comment picker now. We should actually have a drum roll or maybe even some kind of sound effect for the random comment picker while it's picking it. All right. And the winner is, here it goes, Chris Gatton. That's the winner of this week's €50 voucher giveaway. So we're not always going to be giving away a voucher though. Sometimes we'll be giving away whatever is actually available in the garden that week or that month. So every week though, we'll do a little prize giveaway. Why not? Because we can. We've actually been establishing our gardens for many years now, and we've got a lot of living capital there. So we're able to share that with our audience also. So Chris, please do send me an email to contact@gardensforlife.ie. Please email me straight after the show or now. You're welcome. You're welcome. We will email you a voucher code within 24 hours anyway. Thank you for entering. And for those of you who didn't win, fear not. We'll have a free draw next week on Thursday. And we also have our early bird sale on. Early bird 24 is the code for 20% off. So use early bird 24 to get 20% off everything on our shop. And I'll just put that into the chat here. Our online shop is here. Oops. Congratulations. Yes, congratulations, Chris. So let me just put the code here and the shop link into the chat. So Chris, take a look at the shop, or anyone else if you'd like to take a look too, and do use the discount code earlybird24 for 20% off. And if you're a member of Gardens for Life, you can get 25% off everything we do any time of year by entering your members discount code, which is available in the members lobby. And to get access to the members lobby, you need to become a member. And you can do so by going to our members page to find out more. So you get lots of advantages if you become a Gardens for Life member, or it's actually a member of the support community. And we give you access to content like 3 ebooks on no-dig gardening, and free access to our online course as well on no-dig gardening, and to the value of €69. So for only €5 a month, you can join our members support community, and you can also pay $50 a year. So it's €5 per month or $50 a year. And it's good value, and you get your money back if you place orders with us anyway, because you can use the discount code. Also, you get an exclusive €5 gift from anything from the garden. It's a surprise gift. You never know what it might be, but it's usually going to be about €5 or more in value. Every time you place an order, you'll get one. And if you're on Patreon, we're also there too under Birdland Homestead. If you'd like to join us there, we'd highly appreciate your support. That's how we keep this show going, and we keep expanding the garden as well. We've got lots of content coming up. Just got to get around to editing some videos. So thank you for joining us this week, and I really appreciate you guys coming on and staying on for this long. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.